All right, let's get to that NBA Finals at Game 2. The Warriors beat the Celtics 107-88. Steph with 29, Tatum with 28. This game was not even as close as 107-88, right? I mean, as Bri pointed out, he had the minus 19 and a half, and it wins by 19. Of course, I bet the Warriors tied it everything with the Warriors to Klay Thompson. Terrible. One thing was interesting. Both teams combined 15 for 30, not combined. Both teams were 15 for 37 from three. Parlay Kid, you picked it. Warriors needed it. They got their shit together, except for Klay Thompson. And they took care of business, and now it's 1-1, and I have no idea who's going to win this series.
Oh, that's the gret thing about this series. Probably the only good thing we've had in this playoffs is that we really can't predict a winner in this series. I mean, I know, Sal, you still like Boston probably just because you went with them to start, and the three of us probably in on Golden State still, but it's too hard to predict what's going to happen in this series. Yeah, I was very fortunate last night to have Curry over 4.5 3-pointers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Golden State -4 and Golden State to win by 11 plus. But I don't know if it's going to be that easy the rest of the way. I really don't.
Right.
This is going to be tough calls the rest of the way. I still think we're going to see another couple blowouts, maybe, but you don't know which way they're going to go, right? Like,
look what Horford did.
Boston's not great at home. I mean,
Darren, look what Horford did in game one, and then he didn't show up yesterday. Smart,
right?
2 points, and Williams is banged up too. So
we did well on our graphic pick there. So we all had the Warriors.
Yeah, Brian did a great job with Horford under.
I got very lucky with the Warriors first quarter. You guys all had -4. Yeah. Parlay Kid had like 10 plus. My prop was Klay Thompson. That sucked. And but Bri had Horford under 11.5. He had 2 points. I mean, that's the thing. Every game is different. Every single game is different. There's no consistency at all.
Not only that, right? Who would predict the way these games have played out? Like, who would predict that Tatum would go like 3 for 17 in game one? Celtics win.
They crush.
And Klay goes 4 for 19 in game 2, and they win. You wouldn't have.
Or just stick with Tatum. Just stick with Tatum. 3 for 17 game 1. They crush. He's 6 for 9 from 3 in game 2. They get killed. You know,
right? It makes sense. Right. Usually, when the stars shine, those teams win. But like I said the other day, this could be though a series of just the role guy. Which role players are playing better?
I guess.
I don't know. I don't know. I saw Klay Thompson yesterday too.
Maybe he's a role player.
I mean, Sal. Look, they said something very interesting at the end of the game last night. Now, I'm going to be way off on the numbers that they said with Klay. But one, obviously, because of these knee injuries he's had, he doesn't have the explosion going towards the hoop. He doesn't rise like he used to. That's number one. Number two,
I think I have no rise, and I think I'd make some of those layups. I really do. I have zero lies.
I hear you.
No knee injuries, but
more importantly, they mentioned this, and this is it was a great point yesterday that was made at the end of the game, wherever I was watching, that when Klay Thompson had 60 points a few years ago in a game, forget which game it was, whatever it was, he dribbled the ball again, it's a low number. It was like seven times in that 60-point game.
Right.
Yesterday, in like 2 possessions, he dribbled the ball like 7 times. Teams are getting out.
So what does that mean? They're running plays. They were running plays for him, right? They were.
Well, yeah. It was a catch and shoot before guys could get on him. Now guys are just glued to him, not giving him any space at all, no matter what. So that's a big factor, I guess, for Thompson. I guess for this free-flowing offense that supposedly Golden State runs is, you'd think they would run the guy through like some double screens or something like that to get him some open looks.
Disgusting watching him.
They're definitely making him put the ball on the ground a lot more. But I had him too yesterday to have over like whatever it was 3-point wise, and he was brutal. And I don't know if they can win the series unless he's at least slightly above average.
Yeah.
He'll have a good game or two though. He'll have one.
Well, I gave him out. I gave him out over 20.5 for the series. That was my series play, and now he's at 16.5. And
he is?
He's
I guess he
16.5, and he's averaging 13 through the 2 games.
Wait,
10 to 33.
What's 16.5? What?
His series point average now.
No, it isn't. He had 15 and 11. That's 16
you
and
know,
a
if
half.
If you
Average?
wanted to bet it, if you want to bet it.
Oh, I see. If you the updated average,
bet,
I got it. Okay. I wouldn't take that.
And six,
He's
I know
going to
that's what I'm
get to
saying. That's what I
16. He's got he
6 of his
averages-
last 7 games, he scored less than 20 points. And he's 4 of 15 and threes.
He's averaging
not
13 points in the series.
Well,
yeah.
it's one of those that you probably don't want to touch them, right? Because it's like
I'm done with him. Yeah.
He's
right.
It's still very likely though, and if this goes 7 games, like it's still likely one of those games
Gets
is
a
going to go
30
for
in
like
there.
30 something, right?
Well,
Like
I
it's
won't
7
be around
One of
for
those
it.
6,
No.
the one of the 6 or 7 that I said he's less than 20, he had 32 that game. So yeah,
Right.
still
Yeah.
possible when he
Well,
catches
that's
fire.
why I liked him so much. Coming off a loss, he was great
Right.
against Dallas and Memphis at two
Yeah.
30-point games. But I don't know what to. So the Warriors now are minus 115, slight favorite. Celtics are plus 105. You know, we have a text chain going with our buddy Alec, who's a huge, super NBA fan, and all I do is shit on it. I'm even sick of myself, how negative I am, really. But he's like, wow. He's like, really? I really don't know who's going to win. It's like, how could you? How could you have a beat on this? It's different every single game. It's like, you know, you could look at it. All right, Celtics are in good shape. They split on the road, and now they come home. And if they win all their home games, they win. Although, even though, as Stephen A. Smith pointed out, they're a different beast at home, Bri. We know that not to be true. They've lost four home games in 2 series.
Yeah.
But you could say, all right, they did what they had to. They split.
Yeah.
But also, Parlay Kid, they were getting blown out both games going into the 4th quarter. So I don't know I have no idea what to look at, how to look at it.
That's what I don't know. It's a hard one to call. I mean, we could look at all the stats. I think I don't know if there's any, what's the trend? What are the major trends in this series? I'm not sure how much there really is. There's just, it's
Horford's
so
great. He's
topsy-turvy.
terrible. You know, so I think what I want to do is, though, Steph Curry is the most consistent, right? You want consistency. Yes. He's the most consistent here.
Yes.
The ankle injury bugs me a little bit. It could be worse. It could get worse. Those things get bad, you know. But if you look at FanDuel right now, they have him. I don't know if you guys saw this. His MVP odds are minus 115. The Warriors to win the whole thing is 115. So there's no value in taking Steph, except if you look at the list, the next name on that list that plays for the Warriors, the next Warrior is Draymond Green, 6th. It goes Curry, Tatum plus 145, Jaylen Brown, Horford, Marcus Smart. Draymond Green, 85-1 is 6th. He took 3 shots yesterday. So Steph Curry's winning it if they win, right? Brian, what am I missing here?
Oh, yeah. No, he has to. I mean, you would need one of these.
Wow.
Dre can't. Dre cannot win it. I mean, he just can't.
He might not even be in it. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's almost impossible to say somebody else could win it at this point, right? Somebody would have to have 3 monster games. It's impossible for somebody else to win.
No.
Yeah.
I'm with it.
Yeah. And
We're all on Steph for MVP.
Yeah.
And after-
The way it was going to be. He's never won one. It's going to go to
it's a
him if
chalk
they
call
win.
anyway. So, yeah.
And
course,
is
I
anybody
know.
but Tatum or Brown going to win it for the Celtics? Seriously, like you can't put up a 2-point game
No, you can't.
and win it, really. You know, because I'm sure Horford and Smart are also going to have another game like that.
Darren, I think you could narrow it just to Tatum. Honestly, I'm looking.
I agree. No, you're right.
Because he had 3 bad shooting games last series and he won MVP. You know,
and what's his number, Sal?
They give him a lot of leeway. What's he done so far?
No, what's his MVP
Oh,
number?
it's plus one. What I say, 145.
And what are the Celtics?
Celtics are minus 105. So you're right. So there's some value there. I think that's where you go. You take the home Celtics, getting a plus 145 for Tatum, who's probably almost definitely going to win. But anyway, so let's stick, because FanDuel has all these fun numbers. Harry pointed some out. You could bet mid-series, which is fun, on average to who's going to have the best average points or rebounds, what individual players are going to average. We're all kind of like banking on Curry here. So I'm saying, while there's no MVP value for him, to take Steph 4 or more threes in all the series games plus 330. I like that. And they don't even have to win the series. I know you guys are going with stuff where he wins, where he has to win. I'm going Steph 4 or more threes the rest of the way in every game.
Yeah.
They don't even need to win. It's plus 330. You know, against Dallas, he had games where he would go like 5-7 attempts for threes. You know, I don't know what it is, Parlay. I don't know if he's creating more space on the perimeter or the Celtics are just leaving him. It doesn't make sense with this defensive team, but he's getting 12 or 14 threes off a game. Again, I like it because they don't have to win. He's made 5 and he's made 7 in the first 2. So that's my specialty bet there. Go on FanDuel. Steph 4 or more in threes in the remaining games, plus 330. Now you need the Warriors to win, but you like 4 or more rebounds for Steph.
Yeah, because I have Curry a lot on these 3-point shot making things too for this series. So I'll go something a little different. Curry to get 4+ rebounds a game, and the Warriors to win the series at plus 220. Steph has gone over 4 rebounds in 7 out of his last 8 games. He's averaging 5. Around 5 for the playoffs, but lately has been, look, we always know when we look at Curry at the end of a game, right? He's always sitting at like 6 rebounds, 5 or 6 assists. It's almost always what it was happened. So, 6 last game, 5 the game before. And then you go back, he's been up to 12 rebounds, 8 rebounds. Sitting usually at 5. He just somehow has a nose for the ball, right? 4 rebounds plus a game, and they win at plus 220. I'll roll the dice on that one. I like that one. Not bad. Certainly better than minus 115, whatever they are to win the series. All right, Bri, you're going Curry. You see a monster game in here somewhere.
Well, the funny thing, I was looking at the again. I was just looking at odds here, and I saw the Curry 8 or more threes, and the Golden State wins the series is plus 700. I will say he's definitely looked locked in so far, right? Except for part of that second half of game 1, he wasn't as good, but it is weird. It kind of seems like he's averaging 40 a game right now, even though it's like 31, 32.
Right.
And he hasn't had 8 threes in a while, but I will say the amount he's been taking the last couple of games, right. He's got a shot. And I think he knows in this series, they're the way Boston is defending, they're relying on him to create his own shot a little bit more. So even if he's not necessarily open, he's creating the space for himself to get some open looks. So if he keeps taking 12 to 15 3-pointers in these next couple of games, he definitely has a shot to hit 8.
Yeah. I'm looking at this. I'm trying, like I said, I have no idea how this series, not that any of us ever know, but I just don't have a feel for it. Like the Warriors can come out and blow Boston out in Boston, and then Boston can win the next 3. It's like that kind of playoffs, really. It's really stupid. But so without, trying to pick a winner, what do you guys think of this? I gave this out on Extra Points this morning. Tatum to score 40 in any game and Boston wins 6-1. And separately, bet Curry to score 40 or more in any game and Golden State wins plus 450. I don't know. I know defense is the answer in this, but do you think one or both of them have a 40 in them?
Yes. Why not? I mean,
I think that's going to be my bet. Yeah.
Curry already sat at 34 in game 1, and that was with a pretty brutal second half, right? And Tatum at 28 last night. I think one of them is due to have that type of huge
refs are going to help one of them or both of them in some of these games too, right?
Yes.
It would be good to get one of these games where it's just one of those blockbuster games where Tatum and Curry are going head to head, and all of a sudden they're both at 35, and then you roll the dice at that point getting 40. But let's have one of those games.
Well, the problem is normally you could like, hey, if it goes to overtime, you're in good shape. It's going to be a few more points, but there's no chance any of these games will ever go to overtime because they all suck. And so that's what we are. Sorry to be so down on it, but everybody should keep betting them.